Hello YouTube. So I had an incident that happened today in my teaching career that was a first time, and I'm telling the story and I'm relaying this information to you so that you can learn from it, and hopefully you don't have the same problem that I have down the road if you're teaching English here in Korea. So last year I finished out the contract at the school I was working at. All the teachers, the headmaster, they all loved me. They sang my praises. When I left, they asked me not to leave and so forth, and I had plans. I wanted to go to Seoul, and I wanted to apply to grad school, and I wanted to do the CELTA certification. So I had those plans, and I expressed that that's why I was leaving and not renewing my contract, so there was no problem there. Kept in touch with some of the teachers at the school, and I actually had lunch. I went back to the school, and they invited me to have lunch with everybody at the cafeteria to talk to the teachers. The headmaster sat with me for 5 minutes alone and told me that they were building a new school for the middle schoolers that were graduating, and he asked me if I would be the English teacher for their new school that would come around next year. So everything was fine, and then after, in the afternoon, they had a teachers meeting. They asked me to stay for the teachers meeting, and at the teachers meeting they prepared like a speech for me, and they asked me to address the teachers, and everything was fine with that. So it made me feel like wanted, you know, like I left the job but they wanted me to come back. It was great. But I came back to Seoul because I had my plans. So my plans changed, and I decided that I'm still going to do grad school, but I'm going to go for a master's online part-time and teach at the same time during the day. So now I'm looking for a new job, and I want to work at a hagwon, and I'm going to look for a good hagwon job. Knowing what I know now from experience, I know what to look for a good hagwon versus a bad hagwon. So I interviewed at a few hagwons. I found a great school that I really want to work at, and I went in for an interview, and I thought the interview went real well, and I sat with the Korean boss and actually a foreigner who was a manager, and the foreigner manager knew me and actually emailed me with the job offer. So he was all in support of me. And after this holiday that just passed, the Lunar New Year, it's been about 10 days since the interview, and I emailed him back and said that I decided that I want to work for the school. The foreigner manager emailed me back and apologized, but said that I was rejected. Why? Because the boss of the school contacted the job that I used to work at, and the old school that I worked at, they said very, very bad things about me, and that they recommended that I not be hired by the school. And I was really shocked. So immediately I called the old school, and I talked to one of the teachers there that is my friend. He got back to me in 10 minutes, and he said that, yeah, the boss of the new school called and even came over to the school and to have like a lengthy interview and he asked a lot of questions about me. But he said at no point did they say that I was a bad teacher and not to hire me. They didn't say anything like that. They just tried to talk about me and talk about everything that they knew about me. Also, what my friend, the teacher at the old school, said was that this new boss was already skeptical about me, already. So what I think happened was, for whatever reason, maybe I came off bad in the interview. Maybe they mentioned that they usually hire women because they want women to teach the children at the school. Maybe I didn't fit the image he was looking for, and he had this thing set in his head that he didn't want to hire me. So after this long interview, he might have taken something and said, well, I don't want to hire him based on this, whatever it was that they said. It might not have even been that bad at all. I don't know what it was. But somebody lied, and I really believe that it wasn't the old school. Unless they're great actors and they're lying, they really love me, and they even asked me to come back to the school and teach the kids again. So it's not a big deal. I'm going to keep applying to other schools, and I'm going to find out when the next school calls for the reference. If it happens again, then I know there's a problem with the school I used to work with. So I'll find out soon enough. But the lesson that you can take from this if you're teaching English in Korea is whatever school you work at, whether you like the school or whether you're having problems at the school, whatever's happening, put on a happy face, do a great job, and have good relationships with everybody you work with and the students. Have as little problems as possible, because when you go to get another teaching job in Korea, the new schools always go back to the old school and find out about you. They ask for a reference. and they also ask for a proof of employment. And it's a form that shows the school's address and the dates that you worked there. It's an official form. It's signed by the old school, and they put the red stamp on it. They use that just to show legally where you worked, and also they call the school back and ask for a reference. So protect your future jobs, no matter what it's like where you work now, and have great relationships so that it doesn't affect where you work in the future. Hopefully you won't have a problem, and you won't have to go through what I'm going through now. So hopefully I'll get through this problem and I'll find a great job, and I'll let you know how that goes in a future video. Alright, thanks for watching. I hope you learned something from this, and I'll see you in the next video.